Hi guys, this is Dr. Aeronautics with Norsden Land to Neso. I think this is episode 24. And, well, the first thing I have to show you is that, well, New Venice needed a hero. And so one day, this guy who I call Ironway showed up. He is the golem of Ironway. So he is this city's hero, officially. I've seen him in action. He can kill most criminals in I think 2 shots or something. So he's quite effective and he's very much appreciated. So the next thing, which is probably why my computer is lagging a little bit, is the new network. So the old network was having a problem because we couldn't store enough in that room and I had to transfer stuff and it was terrible. I have created an autonomous solution using the, forget which mod it is, but it's the ME network. So I basically made it in this tower. It goes all the way to the top, and that's actually what you hear up here. All these windmills are running here and running this machine on the roof. But check out the numbers of stuff we have. 650 iron, look at how much lapis lazuli, and then there's stuff like copper and tin. I mean, this is for the final project that we're going to do before leaving the Earth. This is about a third, well, maybe a quarter of the material we need, and there's still plenty left to be smelted. And this is from just 2 64 by 64 quarries. So here's what happens. The stuff enters this chest, is drawn into the main network here, and sits in this terminal, which basically stores stuff. Actually, no. This is, you access stuff through here. It's stored in this thing, which is a drive. I have a, it's digital, so I have a drive in here. All of the stuff that it's storing has taken up about a fifth of the total space that we can use. So this is way more efficient than a large chest because look at how much stuff we can store, and it stacks. Like sulfur, for example, 9,000 sulfur, and I had to turn away the sulfur because there was just too much of it. Same thing with the obsidian. What are you ever going to do with 5,200 obsidian? So then we have this, which is basically the power device. It basically draws power and stuff. And over here is a power meter, powered by all of our windmills here. And what happens is we have the stuff exported. Anything that can be smelted down, we have put into the enrichment chamber, which effectively doubles the amount of material that we can then smelt. You see it then smelts into, oh my gosh, iron dust. Holy mackerel. 988 iron dust will make, hang on, 988 iron dust will make 1976 iron ingots plus 647 ingots. Means that what we have in here will craft 7,000 rails, which is twice the distance of the entire transcontinental railroad, or probably finish about 3 railroad lines. So we have legitimately solved the problem of not having enough iron without cheating. It's all thanks to this enrichment chamber, doubling the effective outputs, where it is stored in here and then exported to this electric furnace, which was originally sitting in the top of the level here, smelting the stuff down and putting it in here. And this is where the iron comes in. We're going to exhaust all of our iron, and by the way, the sad part is when you take stuff out, it does take up energy. So you can't do this forever. There we go. So we should have enough iron now to craft 1,700 rails, which should be almost enough to finish line 2. if we go to the map, you will see this is the current status of the railroads. The entire Transcontinental Railroad is done. It is 4,700 meters or miles, depending on the scale we use, long. Again, scale being referred to as the scaling up Norsden land to a real continent size from the 3,000 meters smaller version. But now I have worked on the southern line. It originally went here. I've now built it down past this junction with line 4, and we're hoping that the 1700 will probably take us to where the Space Center is here, and then I will finish off the leftovers next episode. So the other things we're going to do is create a diesel refinery, because I've devised a new engine which can run on all of the oil ores that we've been getting. The petroleum ores can actually run on an engine, and we can, I think this is it, we can actually run the new locomotives on them, and I figured out that it's much more efficient, which means they can go faster, which is good, because we need a train that can go faster, because our little steam train right now can only do 50 kilometers, and when you try and cross the country, that takes a long time. So here's what's left of the room. We've gained all the space in the corner from not doing that, so now we have to figure out how many sticks we'll need. We'll need a lot more than that. That's more like it. On second thought, I'm actually going to craft the stuff when we arrive on line 2. Let me just double check. Yeah, we definitely have enough sticks. So we are going to go ahead and wait until the next day, which it looks like it's night again. So we'll go ahead and rest up, and then I will play the video as we move southern on the line 2, the southern coastline, and you will see all the new built sections. And, well, you will also see that it takes forever because of the slowness of the locomotive, which is why we need to get a new one. So, I'm sure you've seen the other journey plenty of times from, from New Venice to the Eastern Landing, so I will start videos at the Eastern Landing and cut it now. If you haven't seen it, just go to one of my older videos. Oh yeah, I also built another train called a work train. It basically has no engine. I would have to attach it to this other train if it were to work. But basically, I can sit in it and craft stuff while we move, which is handy. Okay, so we're arriving at Buzzicunger Beach now. So this is where the old ends and the new begins. So all of this line is new. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my map of Norsden land of the south, but that's okay, because we're going to be near the coast, so we should be able to get an orientation that way. We're also close to the Space Center, or what will become the Space Center, and I know that area quite well as well. And you can see what I mean about this taking very long. We're only 700 meters from Norsden land. I'm sorry, New Venice. And to go all the way down south is about 2,000. So you can see this would have only been a third of the entire journey, and we need something faster. So now we enter the southern forests. This is where the scenery changes quite a bit, very rapidly. And these are the dry, deciduous forests and not the nasty, wet swamps that we go through. Or rather, where New Venice is. Oh, we're out of fuel. And somewhere down here we actually cross a river. I checked it. It goes, you can actually see on the left side of the map, it goes all the way out to the ocean. And it's quite scenic when you cross. Okay, we're approaching the end of the new section of the line, and that probably means it's going to get dark because this entire journey takes exactly 1 Minecraft day, or at least it did last time. Yes, there's the end of the track. We're going to stop here. And disembark. Okay, so this is where the new starts. So we're going to have to start by, of course, crafting some rails. And yes, I can see it is already getting dark. You will see throughout the journey that the path has already been marked out and cleared. So we shouldn't really have to do any tree clearing, because I did that the last time I was down here. So it's marked down at the corners with rails where it is. And we're going to have to seek shelter. Be back in the morning. Okay, it's morning. We have a long day of building ahead of us. So then we turn east again here for a little bit of time, and then resume southward, I think, one more time before turning eastward to the Space Center, or what will become the Space Center. And again, we're trying to make the path as straight as we can, because the more turns we have in it, the slower we're going to have to limit trains' speeds when they get fast enough for that to matter. By the way, in terms of the world, we're at very low latitudes right now. Just about 5 degrees north of the equator, which should make sense because the place mark over there is on the equator and we're almost at the same latitude as it. Okay, this should be the final eastward direction. There might be one more southern move. Yeah, it looks like there's one more southern move before we turn east. Okay, we're out, so I'm going to go ahead and craft some more. So now we have 9 stacks of rails, so we'll be able to go further than we did the first time. Okay, and here's the last turn in the forest. From here on, it's straight out to the coast. And we are practically straddling the equator now. The equator being at z-coordinate -4956. So we're 30 meters or miles above the equator. 30 meters in Minecraft, 30 miles in the imaginative, blown-up version of Norsden land. Sorry about that. Video just ended. Still have about 6 stacks. And long at last, we will finally have a land link with the area that will become the Space Center. And the equator. So if there's any other activities we need to do in the tropics or the equator, this line will unlock that possibility. Still have 4 stacks left, so we're actually only already halfway through the 9 stacks that we have, which is quite surprising because I thought we would be out on the beach by now, but not until now. Okay, so now we're on the beach dunes, so we continue going straight for a good while longer. And now we're finally at the Space Center, about 1,500 meters from Norsden. I keep doing that. New Venice. Down to our last 2 stacks. So I avoid going too close to the coast because there will be ranges and other things and the assembly buildings and everything else. But I can't talk about that yet because we're not there. In fact, we really haven't even invented powered flight yet. And now it looks like it's getting dark again. Which is okay, because there's islands out there in the ocean that I can just go to and then just wait out the night at. I think I will do that when I run out of this stack. It'll also give me an opportunity to craft some more rails for the final leg south to the southern point. This railroad goes all the way down to the southern coast of... Well, there's actually two bottoms. The peninsula here splits in half. One side goes southeast, the other southwest. The southeastern peninsula doesn't go as far down as the southwestern peninsula, but we go just about all the way down to the very end of the southeast peninsula. Okay, be back. Okay, it's the next morning now, so we can go ahead and continue. Again, I have 9 more stacks of rails, and I still have a little bit of iron left over. So we're beyond the Space Center now, and we're going to go ahead and enter the southernmost forest. We're actually below the equator now. It's kind of a little bit interesting here. The terrain gets kind of hilly. as you move southern. Oh dear. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I will do a walking playback when we get back to here after I run out of rails. Oh my gosh, well line 2 is done, and even with those 9 stacks, we still have 1 left over, and we still have more iron. I repeat, line 2 is done. This is the bottom of Norsden land, the Tetrium Sea right here. A full 2,000 miles from New Venice. So now that's a third of our railways. We have lines 1 and 2 in the bag. Which means next I'm going to focus on lines 3 and 4. And then probably 6, and then 5 is going to be the last one. Because it's a frontier line. Used for accessing hard-to-reach places of Norsden land, particularly the northern areas. Okay, and so this is where I cut the video off the first time. So that's finished with line 2. We're going to go ahead and move on to the diesel train. So I will come back with the video when we get back to New Venice. See you then. Okay, so we're back in the city now. We're going to go ahead and work on the diesel distillation tower first. That is the first step. And we're going to need some plastic for that. And a flint and steel. So I'm hoping this thing dumped. It did not. I was hoping for a flint there, but that's fine. So we'll just go up and get a... Oh, well, we do have iron with us. But there's this as well. And we can get a flint. So then a firebox is a flint and steel around 8 iron. And it probably needs the train workbench to do that. Let's see, the other thing we need is 8 steel. Okay, I've got 8 steel dust, so then we need 8 roll plastic, which means we need 8 rubber. Oh, this guy's holding a flower again. Okay, so we're gonna need this one here. Actually, we should probably start smelting down the steel first. I can put the firebox together. I can also start smelting the rubber. Right, so I was correct. You do need the train workbench here. How's that an achievement? I've made like 3 fireboxes so far. Good. That's giving us rubber. Let's go ahead and skip the night. Okay, here's our steel. And we can make our distillation tower, which is simply 8 steel. Ooh, what was that? Oh. Huh, it looks different than it did before. Okay, I guess this one is a crafting table one. Okay, what's up? Something's not right. Steel, firebox, steel and firebox. That's steel, that's steel. Don't tell me we need 2 types of steel for this. Okay, something's not right. We're going to have to figure it out. Meanwhile, the rubber's done. We can turn it into plastic now. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to pause the video while I figure this out. Okay, I found the problem. I made the wrong type of firebox. I made an iron firebox when I apparently needed an other firebox, and I didn't know there was more than one firebox apparently, but there is. Okay, and this one is just steel around, which means I need 8 more steel. Okay, I've got the plastic now. So let's go ahead and make something to use the right thing first off. Let's go ahead and make something to hold the diesel. And I'm happy to see it gives 4. So we have 4 fuel cans, which should be considered fuel there. And now we're waiting on, well, while that's happening, another flint and steel. And now we can make our firebox long at last. Now I see why I got the achievement. The reason was because apparently I have not had not crafted a regular firebox before, but an iron firebox. Or not. How am I getting another achievement? I'm just going to assume that the thing's screwed up, because it's ridiculous. At least I got another firebox, but I don't think I'm going to need it, because, well, this new technology, I don't need steam power anymore. Okay, let's go ahead and make our distillation tower. Good. So we have that. We have a bunch of fuel cans, so we're all set. Which means we can move on to the diesel train now. So let me pause while I research. The next thing we're going to need is a Tier 2 assembly table, which means we need 2 pistons, 2 gold bars, and 4 obsidian. Got 2 pistons. Oh great, there's no gold smelted. I'll have to get that. 2 gold bars. Oh yeah, 4 obsidian. Come on, only 2. I'll need to get the huge stash from the upstairs. So here's the enormous stash in all of its glory, and we only need 4 obsidian and 2 gold bars. I have all of the ingredients. Two pistons, 4 obsidian, 2 gold. Now we have the second tier. Let's see if there's anything from here that's worth salvaging. It's probably all that's going to be worth salvaging from there. We'll go ahead and put these in here. So apparently this is the next age. But anyway, we have our assembly table too. So now it's the actual train itself that we're focused on. And I will go ahead and skip the night and do some research to identify how to build the train. Okay, so I spent the whole night researching. This is going to be a much larger project than I thought. Basically, it sums down that we need 2 controls, a gray chip. I actually haven't finished. Wow. Excuse me while I finish the other half of the research. Okay, so this is what it looks like. 2 controls, a gray chimney, well, I should say a steel chimney, a steel cab, yellow dye, 4 electric motors, 2 generators, 4 diesel engines, 3 steel wheels, 2 steel frames, and just 2 steel by itself. This breaks down to 8 levers, 2 buttons, 3 iron, 12 copper wire spools, 2 plastic, 4 redstone for the chimney, 6 steel, a yellow dye for the generators, 8 copper wire spools, 4 iron, 12 copper wire spools, 2 plastic, 4 redstone for the electric motors, 8 copper wire spools, 8 iron, 12 copper wire spools, 2 plastic, and 4 redstone for the 4 engines. It needs 12 steel, 12 sticks, 84 steel, and 36 steel for the various components in it. For the wheels, they need 8 steel and 2 iron, and the frames need 4 iron and 6 steel, and then there's just the 2 steel by itself. So this is going to be crazy. So I'm going to build it off screen and show you when I'm done. Okay, well this took way longer than expected, but here it is. It's not that much faster, 70 kilometers per hour, but we have it. Let's go ahead and grab a few of these things out and deposit the extras. Alright, we're good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these things upstairs. And then we can get on with a little bit more stuff that we want to do. I'm going to have to start rejecting redstone soon. It's amazing to think we've come to that point. Memory's still doing okay. Not even a quarter of it is taken up yet. Just looking for information on the train type. See how this compares with ours in terms of power level. I don't know how mine is as compared, or the steam train is as compared to this one yet, in terms of raw power. I'd imagine that this one would be much stronger. Good for pulling long trains of freight as well. Okay, I'm going to put a few things away and then we'll get started. Okay, now we need some place to put the distillation tower down. I see it stopped raining finally. So we can try the... There's probably not going to be any room in here, but there's got to be a location that would... Let me see where they... In real life they put them in yards. Best place is probably going to be midway between the source and the railroad, which is actually in this building. Let's use the second floor for that, actually. We'll expand and use this area. I've been told that we should try reeds and see how they work as fuel. Here's some reeds, and we need... At last, we get to use some of this really annoying stuff up here that's been doing nothing but taking up space. Great, now where is it? Of course. It's never here when you need it, which means I need to go to the storage facility and get it. We have so much petroleum, so I'm so thankful that we have something to use it for now. Okay, let's see this thing work. So it does take a little bit of time. It seems to be making plastic. I don't know why it's doing that. I was told it would make diesel, maybe? Oh my gosh, it's made diesel. Okay. Well, I guess what has happened is it produces both plastic. Oh no, plastic is a byproduct of the distilling. Oh, that's great. Now I'm curious to know how long this fuel will last. Or if you can even turn the engine off. Hopefully you can. Oh wow. This thing's pretty dirty. The folks in the apartments above us will not be pleased. Plastic should go in the raw goods container there. And this is fuel now. So, well, no, it's not. This is fuel. So we'll go ahead and store this in here, and then I'm going to go dump some stuff out of my inventory real quick. Okay, we're ready to go now. We'll go ahead and walk out west a little ways. And then go ahead and set the train down on a nice straight stretch of track with level rails. Okay, so this is the spot here, just about 250 miles west of New Venice. So let's set this guy down. Nice, and it even has a cab in the front, which means that we can see going forward, however not backwards. Okay, let's fill it up. Nice. My only question is, why did it consume the bucket? That's really confusing. And a little bit annoying. That's cool. I'm really liking this train, except for we can't see, there's no mirrors or anything to see behind. Seriously though, why did it consume the bucket? Like seriously, nothing? Oh dear. Okay, well, we're moving. And we're breaking record speed. Here is 70 kilometers per hour. stop the train here. We're going to go ahead and check out the quarry, and then I will go ahead and end the episode. It's a great train. So the quarries are still running, but it is likely that before the next episode I'll have to change them out to another set of 2 64 by 64 quarries somewhere else. And probably off screen I'll also do lines 3 and 4. Maybe we'll come back for 5 or 6, but I might completely finish. Oh, and okay, this quarry has actually finished. So we only have 1 quarry going at this point. So we need to prepare now for the next quarry. And I'll just do that off screen. So this has been Norsden Land to Neso, episode 24, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.